I'm Phil Gaimon. I was a pro cyclist for 10 years. Now I'm retired, but I still train as hard as I can to set the best times on the toughest climbs I can find and go on fun adventures on my bike all over the world. This is Worst Retirement Ever. All right, now welcome to North Georgia. I'm in sacred ground for cycling. If you've heard of the Tour de Georgia, the meat of it, the best part, the climax of the race was all these hills. Now, some places in California and Malibu, we have canyons. We call those canyons that we climb up. Here they're called gaps. Woody Gap, Neal's Gap, Wolfpen Gap, Hogpen Gap. They sound super weird if you're not from here. If you're from here, that's some sacred stuff. There's the 6 Gap Century is a very big ride. People come from all over the southeast. Now, I'm not sure what it is about the roads here. Yes, I am. They're awesome. We're in the Appalachian foothills. Good climbing, tons of beautiful, gorgeous pine trees. The views are crazy. And the pavement, Georgia loves good pavement. I'm not sure what it is, but the pavement is super smooth. The turns are banked. I haven't seen that anywhere else, really. So people come out here on the weekends and cruise their motorcycles. During the week, it's pretty empty and definitely just like a haven for cyclists from all over. For me, the gaps are sacred. There was a race called the Georgia Cup Series. When I started out, it was a pretty big series back then. And the first kind of hilly race that I did was the Georgia Cup up here in Dahlonega. So Dahlonega is kind of the base for your gap training. The Dahlonega Georgia Cup, I got second in the time trial. And then the last day just went up and down a bunch of those hills. And I attacked at the first one to get like a couple seconds as a time bonus. It had a big enough gap. I just kept riding the whole day. And I won by like 4 minutes or something. And that was kind of the day I was like, oh, I must be a climber. I was from Florida. I thought I was like a time trialist and who could occasionally win a crit. And then when I lived in Athens, which is kind of an hour and a half south, I would come here every Sunday. This was my church. And I would come here most Wednesdays because Sunday just wasn't enough. I had this great loop, this 100-mile, 11,000 feet hammerfest that I used to do. And that was kind of the ride that I did over and over that got me to be a pro. I was kind of a low-level pro when I started doing that ride, and coming out here every Sunday, being consistent, doing like a full winter of that was kind of the year I took it up a notch. I won Redlands. The next year, I went World Tour. So to me, this is a really special place, despite the fact that it rains 100% of the time that I'm here. So what we're gonna do in this video, we're gonna go for as many gaps as I can get today. Like a lot of people have ripped these, but there haven't been races up in a long time. I don't see a lot of World Tour names in the top 10. So I'm just gonna go until I can't anymore and kind of hope it stays dry. So I've never had to put Lactigo and embrocation on at the same time. I'm not sure which goes first. I might like mix it and make sort of a stew. We're gonna rub a bunch of goo all over my legs and get dressed and head to the first climb. All right, now here, this is where we're starting. See, I'm here for a couple days and I sound Southern again. This is where we are starting. Starting sounds better. Brasstown Bald. This is the hardest one. This is kind of the most known one. There was a Tour de Georgia stage finish at the top of this. It's steep. I mean, that's basically it. This is the steepest one. So I'm doing this first thinking that this is the one I want to be freshest for, but it also means I'm going to be more ruined for the future ones. But that's worst retirement ever. We're going to stick the GoPro on the van here and let's do it. All right, that was Brasstown. I didn't pace it perfect. I forgot how steep it was at the end, but I got it. So we're off to a good start. We gotta stay focused. Gotta stay fueled. It's noon. There's an incredible view here that I won't bother to show you because you can see 10 feet in front of you. On a good day, you can see like 4 states from here. Today, it's you can see about 10 trees. All right, let's go. Next stop. And I was just thinking before I start the next one, Brasstown is one of those that the YouTube comments and the Strava comments are gonna be full of someone being like, hey Phil, I hate to break it to you, but I know you did this time. In 1997, so-and-so doper went this fast, but there's no record of it and he was on a steel bike. I don't care, drop it. Like every time with that shit. Anyway, next one is Hogpen Gap. Up ahead is the sweet old oddly themed German town of Helen, Georgia. It's a longer one. This is one of the longer ones up here. It's just raining harder and harder. The forecast said it was going to stop, and they didn't tell the heavens. So we're just going to get wet. So look how foggy it is. The visibility is horrible. You can barely, no, I'm over here. I'm over here. So this top of Hogpen, the Appalachian Trail kind of starts near here and it goes right through this spot. But on a clear day, there would be a view, but there's not. So let's keep going. Now, I've already downed a bunch of picky bars today, but it was time for some kind of real food. So in Helen, Georgia, you got the Chattahoochee River over my shoulder here. When I was a kid, I would go tubing on that. You can sit in a tube and float all day. I would not want to do that today. But we're in the randomly German-themed tourist village. It's a lot like Solvang, which is Dutch, yes. But I'm having a soft pretzel because I figure that's something that I probably won't vomit. My fourth goal today is to not vomit. There's also a good chance to introduce the family. Oh. Got my mom and stepdad are driving support and filming and sharing a Reuben, which is cute. Mm-hmm.
You could have waited till I took a bite and then
Number 3, Unicoi Gap. I don't know, it's another one of them. This is it. I don't have energy for intros anymore, so I'm gonna climb that hill. Cool. So that one, the upside and downside of having your mom in the follow van is that she decided it was too foggy to not have the van right behind me for safety and not want me to get hit by a truck. So there's no footage of that. You just take my damn word for it. But we got that one. A 10-minute effort hurts when it's the third one. All right, enough talking, more riding, let's do it. Oh yeah, I need to explain, we're not doing any warm-ups or cool-downs for this because there's no time with the camera setup and the rain and whatnot. I've been riding for an hour today, all at over 400 watts. I don't think it's healthy. I actually don't want to get out of the nice warm car right now. Next one is Hogpen Gap. This is one of my favorite one, actually. I'm not sure why. I'm breaking out the big guns at this point. All right, let's go. I remember why I like Hogpen now. It's like a good grade for me, and it's real twisty and hairpinny, and there's trees, not that you can see them. It's a good climb. I tasted the pretzel a little bit. I'm glad I didn't have the cheese that came with it. That would have been all over Hogpen. All right, let's keep going. Let's keep going. We're at the bottom of number 4 now. This is the backside of Woody's Gap, and it's not really one of the major ones, but it's on the way, so I have to do it. I don't have to do it, but that's why this is all funny. At this point, we got a race between daylight. It's currently almost 6 p.m. So it's when do we run out of daylight and when do I run out of legs? Time will tell. Possibly the time up this KOM will tell. The question was, will I run out of legs or daylight first? And I'm not sure what the answer is because there wasn't any daylight all day, but I definitely ran out of legs. So call it a tie between me and daylight. I didn't get Woody's. I didn't get the backside of Woody's. I definitely won't get the front side. That one looks harder. That guy's World Tour. I will come back. Probably won't do another video here because I've had enough of videos here and I think you have too. That's it. I'm gonna go home, which is right here. I'm already home. Isn't that cool?